I've used the ZV-E1 as my main video camera for over 6 months now, and as someone who owns a Sony FX3 as well as A7S III, here's why I think this is the perfect video camera for most creators at the moment. First and foremost, let's start with how good the image quality is out of this. I'm not gonna bore you with the specs. There's plenty of videos out there that are technical reviews on the camera, but basically the ZV-E1 has the same exact sensor as the ever popular Sony FX3. I love the fact that in a small body, I'm able to get S-Log3, unbelievable dynamic range, 10-bit color, 12,800 dual native ISO, and unreal low light performance with the full frame sensor. My second reason for loving this camera is how small the form factor is, especially when paired up with these newer Sony zoom lenses. On here I have the 16-25, but I also use the 20-70 frequently. It really just has made me want to take my camera everywhere I go. This year, a big goal of mine is to make more personal content like YouTube videos and also just document my life quite a bit more. And I can honestly say this camera makes a massive difference in terms of taking a camera places. I know that whatever situation I put this camera in, I'm not gonna get compromised video quality. I personally have a little bit of fear of filming in public, so it's nice taking this camera out and it just looks like a normal vlog camera. Whereas with the FX3 or some larger cameras, you're gonna draw more eyes and it's also a pain to carry in your backpack. This thing is so light. My favorite part of this camera is the fact that it is really great price. When I bought this 6 months ago, I bought it for $2,200 US, and now at the time of making this video, I checked, it's actually at $1,900, which is unbelievable. Like, the fact that we get this good at image quality for under $2,000 in the year 2025 is insane. And for me with traveling, I can take it through airports, I can put it on a tripod and leave it across the street from me, take it in nightclubs, put it in places where things could happen to it, because ultimately this camera is meant to be used. And if something happened to it, I was out $2,000. That sucks. I don't want that to happen, but it's a lot better than being out $3,500 with something like the FX3. The autofocus on this thing has been a dream. I'm not someone who normally uses autofocus, but it's so damn good. A lot of my professional work I do in nightclubs. The autofocus has worked like a charm, even in the darkest of settings. I've also loved the clear image zoom inside this. My most frequent lens I use on it is this small 16-25mm from Sony. It essentially makes it a 16-38mm lens without compromising any image quality. And on my 20-70, it makes it a 20-105, which is massive. Makes me feel like I only need these two lenses to travel with. I've used this setup on a bunch of professional jobs too. The downside could be the size of it to people who work professional gigs, but you can easily put a cage on it. Top handle I've used, V-mount battery. At some point it does start to look a little ridiculous, but you can definitely build this camera up and customize it to your liking. With the cage on it, it's like the same size as the FX3. Now, the dreaded overheating issue, I personally have not had any issues with it, but I also have not recorded with this camera outside in direct sunlight for over an hour. I've recorded up to 40 minutes with it, had no issues at all. And when going past that 40-45 minute mark, I make sure to always use a fan. Zero issues, has not overheated once on me. I've had other cameras overheat, not this one, but I do think if you're someone that relies on doing a lot of interview shooting, talking heads, you're always out and about in sunlight, and your camera is especially gonna be in direct sunlight, you might wanna just get the FX3. For me, I don't put it in those positions because I do have an FX3. So I think ultimately for 90-95% of users, the overheating is a non-issue. You can easily get a fan. I got this one from Ulanzi. It's pretty cheap, and ultimately it gets the job done. Helps with record time. It's low impact, low profile. I'll leave this and all the other accessories I use for the ZV-E1 specifically down below. Compared to the FX3, the ports are pretty lacking. The mounting points, you only have this one on the bottom. I really would love if they added a vertical mounting point, but that can very easily be fixed with an L bracket or a cage. Also, single SD card slot hasn't really been a big deal for me because I don't often record in dual. If you're someone who needs that capability, this may be a deal breaker. For me, hasn't been an issue at all. I just make sure to use really high quality cards when I shoot. As far as the photo side of things goes, I've definitely taken my fair share of photos with it. I'm not really a photographer. I think if you're someone who's a professional photographer, you should not get this camera. 12 megapixel photos and also no mechanical shutter. So it doesn't really work well with my flash, but like I said, not a photo first person. For street photography and some work here and there, it definitely gets the job done. All my work goes on socials anyways. It doesn't get blown up in prints, so I don't need more than 12 megapixels. And as far as downsides, that's about it. This camera is unbelievable. I've really enjoyed my experience with it. And without a doubt, even compared to the lovely FX3, It's my favorite camera and the one I'll be using for most of my work in 2025. For me, the upsides of this camera have drastically outweighed any of the downsides, most of which, like I mentioned, can be fixed with certain products, workarounds. I think for anyone who vlogs, anyone who does travel content, anyone who does professional work even mixed in with those things, it's really the perfect camera. Remember though, no matter what camera you use, it's just a tool to make your art, so don't trip too much about it. We're super lucky to have options like this, but for most of the work I do, having the versatility of the size and just creating more, like it makes you want to go out and shoot, which is a great thing for just about everyone because that's the point of owning a camera after all.